Welcome to the third edition of the San Diego Prep Insider Podcast. I'm Tommy Morris with you, along with Montell Allen from NBA Sports Recruiting and San Diego Prep Insider Magazine. Just coming off a great kickoff classic at La Jolla Country Day School. Montell, how's it going?
Pretty good. Everything is going great. Wonderful event we had. Glad everyone's come out to show support. But now it's time to get into the real season right now.
Oh, yeah, the real season started, which means we need to put our money where our mouth is, Montell. Or I guess in the case of the Friday Night Lights magazine, our canned goods where our mouth is, because we had the canned good drive there at the Kickoff Classic. We're picking the division winners, league winners today. And we'll start with the Avocado East. Montell, who do you have?
Mission Hills. By far, bar none. Troy Warner and Dakota Miller and the squad are going to lead those guys all the way. I think they probably go undefeated in conference and then lead and take that momentum all the way into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I also have Mission. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Montell.
No. I mean, I just think that bar none, that, by far being ranked the number 2 team in the county, I just don't see them having any challenges in their conference this year.
And I couldn't agree with you more. I have them as well. So we'll go to the west side. Avocado West. Who do you have, Montell?
Well, Oceanside. Got to go with the traditional guys that are going to be, there. I think new coach Rodriguez should have them great, ready to go, ready to practice all, good all across the board. But the caveat is going to be El Camino, because El Camino has, Keely Smith is the new OC. He's been a great OC everywhere he's went. If El Camino can duplicate at least what he did at Bishop's last year, where they were averaging 50 points a game, wow, it's going to be a whole different ball game over there in that division. But yeah. I do think right now Oceanside is the favorite until we can see exactly what El Camino has in store for us.
And that would throw a whole wrench in that rivalry over there. It's been dominated by Oceanside. If El Camino could pull it off, that'd be amazing. I have Oceanside as well. So we went east, west. Now let's go to the Central League. Montell, who do you have?
I think the repeat winner is going to be University City. I know they've had some changes in the coaching staff in the last couple of years. All the off the field issues they've had. But to be honest with you, they've been very steady over the last couple of years in football. Program's not dominating yet, but I mean, it's actually steady improvement every year. And I see them just continue that dominance in that conference, continue to keep it moving, status quo, as they say, and move on to the playoffs and hopefully advance more in the playoffs. They need to make that step in the playoffs, not in the regular season. I think they'll be okay. So I have them winning that division.
We finally disagree on something. I have a surprise one here. I have Coronado winning this thing. They got a quarterback returning. I think they're going to have a surprise season over on the island. So moving on to the city. I know. Hey.
Yeah, that's good. That's a shocker. I mean, Tony Isabella's going to be happy to hear that. Coach Isabella's going to be happy that you said that. So that's great.
Moving on to the city, Montell. Who's winning that?
Oh, Christian. Petty and the boys, not Tom Petty, but Adrian Petty and the boys are going to be dominating. I think they're going to dominate. They're going to, I don't even want to use the word steamroll, but I see them just a step above everybody in that division. Returning quarterback, coaching staff, they're ready. They're actually ready to make a bid for state. I even think they're bypassing CIF. They're not worried about CIF and going to the Q. They're worried about getting to state right now. So they're focused, ready to go. I see them having a big season, running the table by bar none.
I agree with you as well. I had them in my top 10 in the county, so I got to have them winning their league, right? So we'll go Coastal now, Montell. Who's winning the Coastal?
Your alma mater, La Jolla Country Day. I think it's time. This is their time to shine. Brendan Goring, Burmeister there at quarterback. They're returning to, Coach Hales is coming off a Division 5 win in his first year there. I think they're paid to repeat this year. I think Santa Fe Christian may put up a little bit of lump. But I know Bishops, Francis Parker, Horizon are all going through that transitional phase that they're going through as teams. And this is right from La Jolla Country Day to go ahead and steal that title and move on.
Yeah, call me a homer, but I have them as well. I think this will be the best year they've ever had,
yes,
except for my year, of course. And I think they'll be even better the year after that. So I think it's going to be 2 good years for La Jolla Country Day. Eastern Division, Montell, what's up?
Saints, Augusta, the number 3 team in the county. Preston, we can go on Preston, Sayal, Sims, and the whole crew that they got over there. Guys are, again, I think they're making a bid for state. They're not. These guys are looking past CIF. They're built to win, roll through the division, roll through some of the competition they have ready to go, and they're ready for that state competition. These guys, I mean, Saints is right there with Christian. They can run they can actually run the table if they want to. They'll have a few. They'll be battle tested to where they're going through the season, but as far as their regular division is concerned, I don't see anyone even matching up with them right now.
I see one team matching up with them, and it's going to be a little controversial here. I see Cathedral winning this thing. I know they're big rivals, but I think Cathedral.
Oh!
I know.
Oh, that's huge.
So we'll see what happens in the Holy Bowl, because I think that's going to decide that league. Grossmont Hills League, Montell.
Wow. Oh, Helix, the mighty Helix right there. The Highlanders are going to, bar no injuries, bar no snafus or anything. I know Mackay. I think Mackay's out for a little bit. I think he's having a hamstring injury. He should be back fine though, by week 1 or week 2. As long as they have no major injuries in that program and there's nothing that goes wrong and all those guys are ready, healthy to go, nothing stopping them. El Cap's going to give them a battle. Let's be perfectly honest. El Cap's going to, they're going to strap it up and try to defend their title and really come in there and swing it with Helix. But right now, Helix is just, right now they're the cream of the crop in San Diego this particular year with all that talent they got over there. So I'm looking forward to them just having an excellent season and winning that division.
Yeah, and we both have number 1 in our top 10, so no surprise I'm winning their league as well. How about the Grossmont Valley?
West Hills. I'm going to go with West Hills. Moyer over there, Taj Bloomfield. I think the coaching staff is over there, got those guys ready. I was able to witness a couple of those guys in the Western New Mexico camp and saw how they perform. They have all the skill positions that are set on their team right now, and this is looking to be a breakout year for them. I know Seth Collins was in Granite Hills last year, and that dynamic athlete was able to take over. Where one dynamic athlete was able to kind of dominate that league. I think West Hills this year has 2 or 3 good dynamic athletes, and I think they're going to run the table on that one.
Yeah, I had a tough one picking this. I thought Granite Hills might be sneaking up on them at West Hills, but I have West Hills winning this one as well. So if we take a look at who we've picked so far, we pretty much agree on everything with exception of 2. Avocado East, we both have Mission Hills. Avocado West, Oceanside. Central, our first disagreement, I took Coronado. You have University City. City League, Christian for both of us. Coastal, Country Day for both of us. Eastern, we picked the rivals. You had St. Augustine. I had Cathedral. Grossmont Hills, Helix, and Grossmont Valley, West Hills. To another valley, the Imperial Valley. Montell, who's winning that league?
I got to go with the traditional Brawley. Brawley's consistently good every year in that county. They always bring a tough game over when they come over to the city. I see nothing changing at this point because they're one of the biggest schools out there. But I know for a fact that Central over there is kind of gearing up, and Imperial is going to be a tough battle as well. It's unfortunate we don't get a chance to watch those guys enough to be evaluated as strong as we really want to. But we will get a chance to see Palos Verde and Imperial. So right now, without seeing him, Brawley. But hopefully it may change because I know Imperial and those guys have some players that can kind of dictate that league. But it should be competitive over there, and we're looking for whoever the champion is over there coming over and giving us a good battle from the playoffs. Yeah, so Brawley's my pick. Brawley's my one. I
got Brawley as well, and I'm the same problem with you. I mean, they're just so far away; it's kind of tough to judge them because you can't really see them. But based on paper, which is of course how football games are won, I've got Brawley. The Manzanita League, Montell.
Big boys of Hopeville, they're coming to take it again. I think Hopeville's been in the CIF Championship in Division 5 for the last 2 years, and I see them going for number 3 to be there. Unfortunately, they're going to meet the steamrolling Lower Country Day again and might get beat. But, I mean, the big boys of Hopeville should be there. They've been able to continue to dominate that league, with their run first, and tough up front. Great defenses as usual they have. That power game on that offensive line was always strong at Hopeville. It's been ever since when you played there, they were really, really good. I don't see anything changing over there. And I know that Calipat and all those other schools are kind of down. They're down this year, so it's going to be hard for them to compete with Hopeville moving on in that division.
So you've got them for their third year in a row, but I have our third disagreement. I think Vincent Memorial is going to take this league. They got a lot of returning players. I know, small team, not a lot of guys on the team, but they played a lot of young guys last year. I think it'll help them out a lot.
And we run into the same problem like we did with Imperial. I'm sorry, cut you off, Tommy.
No, go for it.
We don't get a chance to really look at those guys as much as we get to look at the talent here and evaluate practices and see guys and see how they're moving. And you may be just as well right. You're right. Vincent Memorial returns a lot of players. I think the tradition and the coaching style of Hopeville is going to be a little bit better, a little bit stronger. So
yeah, it makes sense. That was a tough one for me to pick. Metro Mesa League, Montell.
East Lake. I'm good. And this was a tough one to pick. but I'm going to go ahead and go with Eastlake. I think their non-conference schedule is going to prepare them for their conference schedule. They'll be ready, but Bonita Vista is going to be that one team that I don't know. That's going to be talent versus talent. I know a lot of kids transfer from Bonita Vista from Eastlake over to Bonita Vista. So I think it's going to be a big kind of new rivalry thing going on with those guys. But I think as long as everyone stays eligible and everyone stays healthy, mano y mano, I think Eastlake has them as of right now. And I'm dependent on the offensive defensive lines. I think Eastlake is a little bit bigger and stronger than Bonita Vista. Don't get me wrong, Bonita Vista is going to be competitive, ready to go. Skill-wise, Bonita Vista has 5 top guys around the county that are going to be, Posada's going to be slinging the ball to. But I'm going to go with a little bit of, the tradition, see how they go ahead and play it out, and then go. Again, this was a tough one to pick for me, but I'm going to go with Eastlake.
Yeah, and originally, if we would have done this 2 weeks ago, I would have picked it Eastlake, not even thought about it. But you kind of scared me with all the Bonita Vista talk, so I had to dig in this one a little bit deeper. I almost put Bonita Vista as well, but I stuck with Eastlake. Metro Pacific League.
Castle Park. I think they're due to repeat. They should be pretty strong. They got the receiver. Campenhouse is in that list. His first name starts with the L. But he's a dynamic player. He's fast. He's quick. He's the guy they're going to try to get the ball to. Coaching staff is going to repeat. They've been there before. They made it all the way up to CIFs last year. Made it really deep in the playoffs. I don't see that changing at all. I don't think Chula Vista and those guys are amped up and doing what Castle Park is doing. So,
I agree. I have Hans Graham and the Trojans winning that league as well. Our third Metro League, the Metro South Bay. Who's winning that one, Montell?
Another tough one to pick because, to be perfectly honest, I've only seen one that was Mater Dei. I've seen Mater Dei play pretty good. The other guys, I haven't really seen play or see any dynamic things change. And that's on my part. I haven't really been able to do it. But I've seen what Mater Dei can do, and I've seen what Mater Dei does in the competition. And historically, they've been able to beat those guys, and I think that's going to continue. I know they got the real stud running back, Super Junior, and Mater Dei. Little guy. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names today, guys, so forgive me. But the little guy over there in Mater Dei, he ran for a ton of yards last year. I think it continues. I think Mater Dei's offensive line is a lot better than they were last year. And all the like you said, the young players they played last year are now 1 more year older. They understand what's going on and the goal. And Mater Dei is going to be one of the sleeper teams I think they can run up on and surprise a few teams, but they definitely win conference.
Yeah, I've got Mater Dei as well. Watching them play Bishops in the Division IV CF championship game, I was really impressed. They almost won that game. They were about a yard away from winning that game. So I got Mater Dei as well. Pacific League, Montell. You know what?
I battled with this one, to be honest with you. And just because the teams there are pretty evenly matched, this is kind of the smaller school level. I went with Classic Academy myself. I know that Escondido Charter could possibly win it. We don't know what Army Navy is going to bring to the table with their new coaching staff. They could probably win it. Traditional Tri-City Christian and Maranoth Christian is typically good every year. But I think there were some young players on Classic Academy. They did very, very well. I think they will continue that tradition. And I think they tied last year's championship, but I think this year they'll win it outright.
Yeah, I've got Maranatha in this one. They started the football program pretty recently, but they've been pretty good ever since, kind of racking up wins with those smaller teams. So moving on to the Palomar League.
Ramona. I'm going with the Bulldogs. Physical play, tough style. I think the rest of the teams in the conference can't match up with them. I think Ramona, again, is a team that's looking to move on and take that next step in the program. They've always been tough up front, with the front 8 on defense, and their offensive line has always been generally good. I'm sure they'll be good again this year. But the quarterback over there, three-year starter, returner, he's going to be looking to lead them the way. I don't see anyone challenge them in that conference.
I got the same thing. Traditionally, a bunch of big, strong kids. Now I got a great quarterback, too, with Marco. Ramona is my winner in the
Marco
Polo. How about the Valley League?
I'm going to go San Pasquale. And to be honest with you, not that they've been able to up their talent and all that stuff. I just think they've been traditionally moving in the right direction. Their coaches have been putting them in the right direction. They've been moving really smooth. The program's consistently been improving every year. I think it continues. That conference to me, and I hate to say it, is not as strong as the other conferences. And San Pasquale has been the strongest out of that not-so-strong conference. So I think they go ahead and continue. They win it. They go on. I hope to not see an early exit in the playoffs when they make it there. But, we don't know. But I think as far as league play in the first 10 games, San Pasquale should go ahead and take care of business and be the champions of that division.
Yeah, San Pasquale is kind of in a weird situation right now. I mean, they have one of the best teams in the county. Then everyone graduated, it seemed like. Then they had an off year last year. So they will have a bounce back. But I still think Valley Center will end up with a better record in that league and end up with the Valley League. And moving on, last but not least, you said, we were texting back and forth, this is the hardest league in the county, you think. The Western League, Montell.
Western League is the by far toughest division in the county. I think, I mean, all those teams can play football. All those teams have a dynamic star or dynamic player in high school that's there. So my top team coming out of the Western is, drum roll, Madison. I think the Warhawks, Coach Jackson, and those guys over there, that will have them ready. They've been there before. They know how to win in that program. I think people are really, 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 really not giving their offensive line and defensive line enough credit. Those guys are big, fast, and hungry up front. They got the 1-2 punch of the running backs. The only question mark at Madison is the quarterback, the young super sophomore. Can he mature fast enough and be ready to lead them to those big games? Once he gets a few wins under his belt and he gets that confidence, Madison will be deadly. Or it could be the other way. Will he get hit and he gets rattled and he's not able to do it? That's the unknown. But I think with that running game and with Jackson and those guys bringing them on slow with that running game, I think they win it. I think they pull it off. What about you? What do you think, Tom?
I got Madison too. I agree with you. Very, very, very tough league. But hey, last time they put a young kid at quarterback, it kind of worked out. His name was Kareem Coles. Unfortunately, he just graduated. But if that's any indication for how this year's going to go, what did they do? Win state that year? So I think.
Yes, I mean, well, we got to let's go back even one. Remember when they put Lester Fontenette and Robbie Ross when they were both juniors back there? When this whole thing started to begin, Coach Jackson's been able to find that jewel, put him at quarterback, and be very, very successful in the season and in the playoffs. So why does tradition change? I don't think it's going to change, not this year at least. So I see Madison, like I said, going great. Mission Bay, I love you guys to death. I think they got a talented squad. I think they got a talented secondary.
And a good-looking new field.
Yes. Yeah, with the new field, the stadium, they're going to be pumped up. I think they have something very dynamic and good going on there. But I think that up front, that O-line and D-line is going to be the turning point for everybody in there. And I think they got a really, really strong one over at Madison. Excuse me.
All right, so we'll take a look at these picks again. Imperial Valley, we both said Brawley. Manzanita, you went with Holtville. I went with Vincent Memorial. Metro Mesa, we both agree Eastlake. We also agreed that Castle Park would win the Metro Pacific. Metro South Bay, we both said Mater Dei. Pacific League, you had Classical Academy. I have Maranatha. Palomar League, both of us went with Ramona. The Valley, San Pasquale for you, Valley Center for me. And the Western League, both of us said Madison. So we'll see how those picks turn out as the year goes on. I'm sure we'll be wrong with all of these.
I hope not to be wrong. Let's give ourselves a little bit of credit. I think we'll be right, but I think the things we can't anticipate: eligibility, injuries. Any drastic change that happens, can shift any of these votes and everything around. As we can see all the time. But I really think that we got a strong conference this year, and I think San Diego football is probably right now one of the best conferences in the state of California, best city or areas in California right now, especially with all these top players coming out. I think people should be excited about what we're doing, what this thing is doing, and how we're blowing up. And that's all the way from Division 5 all the way on up. We got great players. I think everyone should understand that this is one of the best years we're going to have in high school football in San Diego.
Yeah, and
I'm glad to be a part of it and make some predictions for us.
Right, I can't wait, and I think we'll see just how good these teams are once we get to those state bowl games and playoffs. Montell, thanks for joining us. Do you have anything you want to let us know about before we let you go?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to, first of all, thank everyone for coming out to the Kickoff Classic, supporting it. It was a success, Can Food Drive. I like to say, thank you to my partner, Ruben Pena, over at the magazine with me. Thanks for 360 Studios for taking pictures. Chris Smith, excellent photographer, guys doing our highlight reel. Can't ask enough. Thanks for Coca-Cola for sponsoring us. I thank La Jolla Country Day, Jeff Hustler, Tyler Hayes for hosting the event, And then, I got to thank you, my man Tommy, San Diego Insider, for being there, helping us out, giving us promotion. An event like this to help feed those in need, I think is a big deal. And that exposure just, puts us over the top. And we hope this to be an annual thing so we can, help those in need. I mean, this is bigger than football. This is more of helping feed the people that, the needy people in our community and the homeless people, working with the San Diego Food Bank.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Montell. And if you want to give us your predictions, you know where to find us. You can tweet and Instagram at us. I don't know if you want to Instagram your predictions, but you can at SD Prep Insider. That would actually be kind of a tough thing to do, I guess. You got to go to all the schools and take the pictures. But
or make your list and take a snapshot of your list and go ahead and send it over for us.
There we go.
But we should be good, man. I mean, we're doing. This is an excellent platform, I think, to do our thing. And San Diego Insider, man, all the way. We
do what we can, and we will see you all next week.